Hey guys, this is Lantis, and this is the behind the scenes for editing the Star Fox SNES race that we just did. I say we just did, this is actually well after, or this is before I've even uploaded anything. I asked in that video if you guys wanted to see a behind the scenes, and I haven't even edited that video yet. So I'm going to record this, cut this together, and save it. If the comments come back positive, that's why you're watching this now. And if not, I'm just gonna delete it. So whatever, just whatever you want. But I'm going to do this anyways, just for funsies. So if you're ever curious about how this works, or if you wanted some tips and tricks on video editing, this is or some best practices for putting these things together, this might be a good video to watch. On that note, I would recommend that you put this in full screen mode and click the little gear at the bottom right of your window and set the I'm going to record, or I'm going to render this in 720p so that you can actually see it, because it's a large area. If you look, it's pretty big, so, and the text is going to be kind of small otherwise, so that's the way you're going to be able to see what I'm doing well enough. But that aside, let's just go ahead and get into it. By the way, thank you for letting me do this, because we were having a little bit of trouble getting everybody together and getting videos in the queue, so we would have something every Friday. We've been doing it for 2 years now, and I didn't want to, hinder that. Anyways, we'll go ahead and get into it. First thing I need to do before I can ever start recording is I need to go grab some images for the background and the end template, like the place template, and I also need the soundtrack for the game, right? So once I collect those things, I need to get the videos from all the racers. There's Dray, Faye, and all that jazz. And I need to make sure that everybody's got the same resolution. I'll tell you about that why here in a bit, but for now, let's just say, default resolution for SNES is 768 by 672, and some people don't give me them in that resolution, so I have to go into Vegas and drag the raw file in there and put it in that resolution, K-Jack. But anyways, when I get all the files ready, I've actually got a template folder, and this template folder has everything I need to at least start one up, because it would take a lot longer. I would be repeating the same steps every single time I made this that I didn't have to. So what I did is I made an intro template, and when I open this, it's actually going to ask me for a file that it's missing. In the template, I put a background image that does a little fade and everything, but then I deleted the original template image, so now it doesn't know where a file is. And this is where you can kind of trick Vegas or any video editor that you're using into doing work for you, so that you don't have to repeat the same stuff over and over again. So I'm going to say specify a new location, right? And I'm going to want, I think that's the image. Let me go verify real quick. Star Fox SNES.jpg. All right, we're going to grab that one, right? So that puts it, that's what it thinks the original file was. Now, you can see I've got the fade in, I've got the background image, I got the logo, and I got it zooming into the corner and fading out. The watermark, okay? So now that we got that in there, and this is, at this point, all the screens would be coming in and whatnot. So that's how you get around doing all that work. It's already done, right? And now we can get into the nitty-gritty of getting files into the project and lined up. So I actually have my video files over here. So we're going to grab Star Fox. Oh, by the way, if you don't know what we're racing next, we're doing Lost Levels. So there you go. So I'm going to take my file in here and throw it into the project, right? And it's going to build all the audio peaks and render the video in to the project. It's also going to generate these files. I get all these files. Anytime you throw something into a project file, it generates a project file for that file. So it gets really cluttered, and I actually have a batch file that I wrote that'll hide those. So if I run that little batch file, it'll find everything in that drive, and that's all the and now it's hidden. See? Oh, there it went. Now I don't have to worry about it. Every few months I have to go in there and delete it because they will build up and take up. Well, the most I've ever seen is like 50 meg. Not a big deal. I just like having everything pretty. This file right here is actually what's being recorded right now. It's completely uncompressed and probably huge. Yes, it's already 20 gigs, and we are only a few minutes in. But I've got about 3 terabytes. Shouldn't matter. But also, when I'm screen recording, this stuff takes so much longer to do. This is retarded. Like, it should have built the peaks a long time ago. But the thing is, I can still do what I need to do while it's building the peaks, because I don't need the audio. First thing you need to do, grab the background image, stretch it all the way across, and do the same thing for the watermark. Since we had 6 people for this, I'm probably going to have to leave the watermark faded out because it's going to clip over someone's video. Usually when we have 5 people or less, I'll just let it be a lot more opaque. Take the transparencies down a little bit, but for now we're just going to leave it pretty not opaque. And I think... Did I break something? I probably shouldn't have done that while the peaks are building. I'm going to let that finish up real quick. Okay, there it goes. Great. Now we need to go ahead and save this as a project file in the Star Fox folder, because I want to be able to use that template, the intro template, for the next race we do. So call it Star Fox 1, whatever. Okay, now here we go. We're going to take the background, throw it behind my footage. There's my footage. Now, the thing is, before, when I mentioned that I got everybody to render in a specific resolution, a lot of people wouldn't do that, so they had different sizes. So I'd have to go in here, say no to maintain aspect ratio, and from there I can chain, stretch, and warp the file the way I thought would, you know, and try to manually match it up with my eyes. That worked in the past, but it's not perfect, and eventually you'll start noticing the flaws. So I have found out a faster way and an easier way to get everything looking, that being actually perfect and it not taking a lot of time. Again, just like before, it's all about templates. Templates will save you a lot of time, right? So let's drop down here and go to what is our Dream Course. The last one I did was Dream Course, right? And there we go. It's already sized. It looks really small right now, but that's actually what we're going to need to be able to get all 6 screens in. So now we got the video file in place. We're going to go to the track motion. And by the way, if you were curious how I got to that one, that was the pan and crop menu to go apply a template to the size. The track motion is actually your location, and you can just like click and drag it around like this, but again, you don't want to do that. There is a much better way of doing it, right? So as if you can see me moving things, right? You see the X coordinate and the Y coordinate changing, right? We're going to be using those coordinates to get everything right where we want it, right? First of all, we know we want it to be up, so I'm just going to hold that and get it kind of up there a little bit, right? And what we're going to do now is just kind of eyeball it in. But we're going to apply this in a way that will match or be lined up perfectly. You'll see how. If you're curious why there's a big, thick black border around the footage, everybody's going to have it because that's the way Star Fox actually records. If you can see here, there's no black, well, there is a black border on the bottom and the top. But again, that's the way Star Fox actually is, and there's not really a lot we can do about that. But anyways, we'll just leave that for now. We'll leave that video footage where it is, and we're going to go into my vids, Star Fox, and we'll grab X's video, and we're going to throw it into the project. And that's going to build peaks, and it's probably going to take 50 forevers again. But we'll just ignore that for now. Hopefully that won't break. Also, save frequently. As often as you can, really. I found that the more tracks you put into Vegas, the more likely it will eventually be to hang up. And don't be surprised if somewhere near my editing of this that it doesn't actually do that. But anyways, what we're going to do is go ahead and go back, do the same thing with X's. We're going to wait for the freaking peaks to build. That's what we're going to do. And then we're going to go event pan crop. We're going to apply the same template for dream core, so we did that. Now, here's the thing. Just to make sure that everything's perfect, let's go back up and check the y coordinates for, in fact, let's just copy them. Copy the y coordinate here. And then we're going to go into X's and paste the y coordinate in there. And as you can see, it pops in. Now it's perfectly in line. Now that we see that we've got someone in the dead center of the x coordinate, we can now know where to put the first video. So we're going to take that and move it right about there. Okay. Save frequently. Now, we're ready to go ahead and throw in the third person, and we'll do K-Jack. Here you go, buddy. And we're just going to do the same thing here. As you can see, I'm already building up a large number of tracks in the project. It's going to be a lot more before this is done. And I have everybody record their audio separately. And this is probably the best practices segment of this. The reason I have everybody record their audio separately is I can then control the volume levels separately. If X is louder than other people, I can pull him down. If Dray is too quiet, I can pull him up. I can play with the audio levels and get everything where I want it. Also, if somebody has a problem, a technical difficulty, it doesn't cause everybody else to have problems. Or if I had difficulty collecting everybody's audio from one source, that would be it. I have now screwed up audio for the entire race for a time being. But so it's simply just keeping all your eggs out of the same basket, right? All right, so what we want to do now is go into this, and we still should have the y coordinate in our clipboard, so we'll just paste that there. And now we want to go back up to the first one, and then this is where we get how we can figure out how to be exact about all this. If I go back into here, wait, which is that? Is that X? Oh, I need to go up one. Here's me. And we're going to take this coordinate here, right? Go back down to KJAG, and we're going to paste that X coordinate here, but what we're going to do is take out the negative coordinate. What that's going to do is move the exact same spot opposite of mine, and that's perfect. So we've got the first three perfectly in line, and that's how you do it. Save. And I'm going to do that with the next three, but except I'm going to do it on the negative y coordinate, and once I get the rest of the three in there, I'll pick back up, because I'm not going to repeat the same steps, because that would just be a waste of your time. You don't want to see that. So I'll go ahead and finish up the other three screens, and I'll get back to you with what we're going to do after that. Okay, guys, I'm back, and I've got everybody's screens in. So as you can see, everything's got perfectly spaced and taking up a lot of screen, and I left enough room where I can leave the labels in there, and I'll show you how I get those in there in just a second. But before I start labeling the screens, I'm going to show you how I sync everybody up, and that's going to be super simple. We're going to go to my video file. If we go in here, I'll just drag it out a bit. There should be... Now, you'll probably get this after working with audio files enough, but just by looking at the waves, you can tell when things are happening, right? So I can tell right here, this is probably where I count down to where we all clap at the same time. we use at the sync width. And that's a clap, that's a clap, that's probably a clap. That one there and that one. All right, so you get the idea, right? So what we need to do is get those all in place. So I'm gonna grab that, move it over, just kind of eyeball it in at first, where you think they are, and then we're gonna zoom way into the project and we'll get it exact, assuming everybody clapped on time. You know, it's not hard to do this. It's actually really easy. So we'll put our cursor right here and zoom in, right? So there's a clap. I'm gonna grab this and just move it in place. Now, when you're in this close, you can see it kind of snap instead of just smoothly scrolling. It's because we're so close in. That's like as close of a fraction of a second we can get. And at this level, like, it doesn't have to be so exact. So it's a point that you won't even notice. So see how this won't line up perfectly with this? It honestly doesn't matter. It is irrelevant. It is so close that it's going to be impossible to notice. So don't let that concern you. That one looks a little closer. There we go. And I believe that's a clap there. If it's not, it'll be kind of obvious whenever. Oops, let's not do that. Just leave that there. And where's the clap there? Wow, it's way over there. We'll zoom back in. Get that clap there. Looks good. All right, so now we just actually have to listen for the countdown. Hold on, let me turn that up. I can't really hear it.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Now, I don't know if it picked up on the mic, but somebody has it's just kind of like a hum in the background. It's very quiet, and I can find out who it is, but honestly, it doesn't really matter, because once we're all talking and I got background music and everything, you're probably not going to hear it. It's probably going to be entirely inaudible. So I usually don't care too much about that. At least it's not been a problem to where someone's commented on it or anything. As far as video editing goes, I take editing critiques well. I actually like hearing from you guys. If there's anything I think I can do to improve, let me know, because I want this to be good. Anyways, back to work. So this is where I probably start actually talking, introducing the race. So we'll give it like a second or two right there.
Hey guys.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm going to put it about right there, and we're going to move it there. We're going to move everybody over, right? Now I want to give myself like a second or two of perfect quietness, just for the transition of the screens coming into place. So I'm going to move back up here, and this is where we're actually going to decide where the video starts. So here's the little logo I put together. There it is, blurring in, and then it's going to start moving that way. Now this is all handled in the opening template. I would have to recreate this every time otherwise. So templates are your friends. So I'll put it right about here, and this is where I'll start the transition for everybody's screen coming in. I'm going to move them over like this. And after that's there, is that everybody? Yeah, that's everybody. Save frequently. Now we're going to want a transition. Here, I'll pull this over. I usually don't pull this over where you can read it, because I know where everything is, and I'd rather just have the project file or the preview window open at all times. But the gradient wipe, and I always go with where's turbulent noise. I don't know, it's just something I've stuck with, not a big deal. So we're just gonna drag and drop that gradient on all the video files. and that gives that intro that I do every time. That's pretty much it, right? Well, except for the title, but now if we start it over, you'll see screen come in, logo, and there's the transition. There you go.
Hey guys, this is Lantis.
Easy. I'll save that. Now, after a few seconds of this going through here,
Hey guys, this is Lantis, and we're back.
and about right here is where I would start implementing the titles, our names on our screen. So right click, insert video track, right? And now if I go into my temps and my icons, I'll have all my icons for and temp titles for all the people that usually race or have mostly race. Like I'll have, you know, even though Insultabot's not been here in a while, I still have his in here. But I'll just take mine, show you what it looks like, throw it in there, just drag it out, need a little bit more room. And I actually have a template for this one as well, somewhere, titles, right? Now, I don't need this anymore. Let's just go back to taking this super minimal. Okay. Pull that up, get as much of this in there as we can see. And you can see there's my little name. So what I'm going to do is put it up here, move it over, center it off. Now, basically what I'm going to be doing here is the same thing I was doing with the screens. I'm going to be moving them all into place. I'm going to be copying the X and Y coordinates and moving them all where they need to be. Again, that's something you've already seen, so I'm going to get everybody else's names in here and be done with it. The only thing I do other than this is the fade in transition, which is a simple linear left to right. Just drop that in there. And that's it for titles. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for the other 5 racers, and I'll get back with you. Okay, guys, I finished up the rest of the titles. So now whenever we play, we'll see the box, logo, fade in, start talking.
Hey guys, this is Lantis,
and
we're back.
Then titles
This is
will come in.
Maker magazine.
And as far as video goes, we're pretty much done. I did notice something. It looks to me like Ix did a little trimming on his job, because if you see KJack's video here and X's, his looks really zoomed in. I think he actually went through the effort. Yeah, he cropped his entire video. Really appreciate it, buddy, but I think you're the only guy that did that. Because, I mean, that gets most of the gameplay, but it does cut off things at times, which is why I wasn't bothering about the borders. But, A for effort. Thanks, buddy. Okay, so now what we need to do is find where the video ends, right? We're going to go drag it over here, kind of zoom in. This is probably where it's going to end.
Now we're at a half hour.
No. Finally. Alright, is it right? And how
Wow,
about
it's
X? By the way, Jay, I also 100%.
Wait.
Give it stop.
There we go.
Everybody pause. I can't
I
pause
can
yet.
pause.
I cannot pause yet.
That
I will
gummit,
pause
KJ.
as soon as I can. I'm anyway, so anyway. This has gone on long enough, so I hope you're enjoying the race, and we'll come back next week. Pieces.
Bye.
Okay, now that sounded like a good place to end it, so I'm going to grab everybody's feed, start moving it back, including the titles. I need to pull all these back to where this video ends. Here we go. Here we go. And done. Okay, so now we got everything. We got a few video files that we need to move over here. And here's what concerns me a little bit. As you notice, somebody's racing file right here, I think it's Phase, ended a little too soon. Now, that's one of two things. Either bad desync or just simply stopping the file too long or too short, which is not a problem. I'll show you how I fix this every single time. And I don't think anybody's known this so far. Hit S, you split the video. Then you copy the video. Then you can Control Z and undo the split, right? But you still have the that in your clipboard. Paste it, clip it back in, and look, hey, yeah, now it fills out. And hopefully if it's a still screen,
I'm curious.
yeah, it's a still screen, so you're not even going to notice that she stopped her recording too soon.
Me editing these videos, maybe going over some tips and tricks that I picked up along the way.
Only if you're
See?
physically
Yeah.
in the video.
So now it's perfect. Now everybody's video is perfectly long. Can't even notice. And it was really funny at that point. That's when I was polling you guys to see if y'all wanted to see me do this or not. So that's actually kind of humorous. So okay, for the most part, we're kind of done as far as video editing goes. But we're far from actually, because there's a lot of things we still need to do. For one, I need to take this and move it all the way up. If I can. Can I do that, please? All the way up. Thank you. This is going to be the video layer that I'm using to fade out, right? And I'll show you how to do that. First, I need to figure out what the order is, right? And this is always just, eyeballing it in. Just see who's farther ahead. It looks like Ix is fighting... Is Ix ahead? Looks like Ix is actually ahead. No one else is at that boss yet. And there's Dray getting to it. Oh, that's me. Oh no, Ix is starting stage 4. Oh no, I'm ahead. Okay.
Wait.
Get the stop.
There
Alright,
we
everybody pause.
Okay. Should have paid more attention when we were racing. Alright, so I'll just grab a notepad. And it looks like I'm actually ahead. Or is it Dray? See, this is the fun part. In fact, no. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll go ahead and pause again. And after I verify the order, I'll boot back up and I'll be in Photoshop to make the in-place screen. So I'll catch you back then. Okay, guys, I'm back, and like I said, I've got a Photoshop open. So what we're gonna do is open once again another template that I have prepared in the template folder. There's one for PSDs in particular. We're gonna grab the places. Now this has a list of everybody's thumbnail, so I can click on exactly who was racing and move them where they need to be. But before I do that, what I'm gonna do is come down here and I'm actually gonna pick a background image. And you can see I just grabbed a few off the internet. I haven't actually decided on one. But this one looks good, so let's just drag that in there. Control all, copy, paste. I don't like how that resolution doesn't fit. So let's see what that one. The hyper realistic images are kind of creepy, really. All right, we'll just stretch this one out a little bit. It doesn't matter. It actually doesn't really matter that much. So free transform, hold Shift and drag. So you can resize without breaking the resolution. So we'll do that. Now, what I usually do whenever I increase an image size, that means it's going to get a little blurry or pixelated. And I generally don't like that because it kind of looks crappy, right? So in Photoshop, what we can do is going to the filter gallery, and we can throw a filter on there that would make it look a lot better, or at least get out the blur. There's some artistic-y kind of things we can put on there mess with some sliders, and find something that looks nice, but not awful. You know, like I kind of like that. Like this kind of filter looks. It's a minimalistic filter, and I kind of like how that looks. I don't think a lot of other people do, but the low polygon filter is actually really cool. Oh wow, film grain. Actually, that's not bad. Wow. Let's pull down that intensity a bit. There we go. I actually like that. All right, we're gonna do that, right? So, bam, that cleans up the changes we made when we blew it up, so it still looks like a decent image. Though it's still kind of bright, and I want our thumbnails to show through. So let's go, not stroke, we'll color overlay black, and then we'll just take the opacity down. And we get to choose how bright it is. So I'll put it right about there. That looks good. Yeah? All right, so we'll leave it there. Now, here are the places at the end of the video. So I'm going to need X, Dray, Kajak, Faye, me, Shadow Fox, and that's all of us. Okay, so let's go ahead and put me where I am, which is strangely, very uncommonly first, right? And let's actually get Dray out of the way. We're going to move first over a little bit. Second place is Dray. So another thing with Photoshop, things of the same resolution will snap once they're close together when they're on the same plane. So I can actually snap that in so that I know it's actually right beside me. So we'll move that into the second place slot. Third place is Kajak. So let's get Shadow Fox out of the way. He was on the forums once as Sin was his username, so that's why he's in there as that. Just have it. And then we'll take Kajak into the third place. Really, really simple stuff. Kajak X is fourth, and we're just going to have to move the fourth place over. Actually, X. Let's move you, let it snap in under me. That I could move fourth over that way and kind of line it up with first. Then Super Orange Gamer, we'll move you over here. Sin, move you in place right here. Why is fifth kind of up a little bit? Let's see if I can't get the snap to fourth. Yeah, there it is. Fine. We'll move that over a pixel or two. And we'll get Faye snapped in with Kajak and Shadow Fox. And there we go. We have our places. 6 looks like it's a little high. See if I can get that to snap. There we go. All right, so file. We don't want to save over our template, so we're going to file save as. We're actually going to put the PSD in with the Star Fox image file. We're going to leave that there. Okay, now that's just the project file. So we still need to render it as an image. So I'll usually use PNG because it's a lossless quality. And we're going to call Star Fox Places Part 1 because it's Part 1 of the video. Say OK. And we're done with Photoshop. Close Photoshop, right? Now let's go. Don't need that. Go back here. Close this because we don't need this anymore. And we're going to go to the image we just created. We're going to drag it into the project file. Now, as you can see, the resolution's a little off. So what we're going to do is go in here. Aspect ratio, no. It'll fill in the rest of the... Wait, no. I want the aspect ratio. Yes. What I want to do is match the output, right, which you can get with right-clicking. So that'll actually fill it out without changing the aspect ratio. I think I need to set it to no anyways, but just leave it because I remember there was an issue somewhere or another, but whatever. I just do it anyways out of habit. And always put a 2-second fade on this. So we'll grab this and start moving it over to 2. See right there where it says 2? That's actual time. So 2-second fade. I'm going to save that. And what we're going to work on now is the in-slate video. And I'm going to have to be in a different project entirely. It's going to take a little bit of setting up. So I'm going to once again cut, and we'll be back for that. Okay, we're back. And as you can see, I got Kirby's Dream Course over here on part. That's the most recent video we have on the channel up right now. And I'm actually going to need it because I'm going to go to the in-slate screen here. And I'm going to take note of what videos are here. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the folder. And I'll explain this as I'm doing it. And I'm going to rename every file that was used for this, which is part 1 of all these races. So Bab's Big Break. So I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to rename it the file used. It doesn't matter what you call it as long as it's just something different. So DuckTales Remastered. It's already been, this is just how it works. As long as it's different from what it currently is, it doesn't matter. And then we're going to go to Little Samson. The Japanese name is Lickle, which I've called it that because it's fewer characters to type. Yes, I'm not lazy. Earthworm Jim 2. Okay. So, oh, God, didn't mean to open it. So, use. All right. So the reason why I did this is because, like last time with the background image that I'm using for this race, the cartridge or the box cover, the in-slate file, the project file for this, is also it's going to be doing the same thing, and I'll explain why in just a second. So we can actually close that. We'll just open temps, and we're going to do, was it intemp? Intemp 2, right. So since I renamed those files, Vegas is going to open it and kind of freak out for a second. It's going to be like, whoa, 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 where are my files? I specifically remember them with this file name. They're not there anymore. Where'd they go? And I'm going to specify new ones. Okay? See, there it goes. The thing is, these all need to move down one slot. So Earthworm Jim's going to get taken off entirely, and Bab's Big Break is going to move over, and freaking Kirby's Dream Course is going to go in there. So this is what's going to happen. Bab's Big Break, right? Babs. We're going to go, okay. Babs is now going to be Kirby, or I just call it Dream Course. Dream Course 1. All right, DuckTales. DuckTales Remastered is now going to be Bab's Big Break. So we're going to go here. Babs, Part 1. Earthworm Jim 2. I don't know why it picks the order it does, but instead of going Little Samson, it's like Earthworm Jim 2. All right, Earthworm Jim 2 is now going to be Little Samson. So, Lickle, Part 1. And then finally, Lickle is going to become DuckTales Remastered. DuckTales Part 1. And now it's going to just whirl and burl for a little bit, especially because I'm screen recording, and it's going to take... Actually, it's going to take quite a while to do this, because what it's doing, it's actually loading the entire video, even though I'm just getting like 30 seconds of each one. So it's literally loading up 4 full 30-minute races, audio and video, despite the fact that's not what's going in there. But that does give you a minute to explain what's up. So I'm going to click in here, and as you can see, here's the project file. It's actually kind of convenient that this is going on, so I can explain to you what's going on here. This right here is just the image, right? If I mute the video, yeah, you can mute video. Who would have thunk, right? You can see that these videos are warped and skewed to fit in the images. And by the way, Ix made this template, or not the template, the image. Like the whole last 4 races, the logo, background image, and the shape of the windows. And I just had to create the videos to fit to this shape to fit in there, right? Now, the reason why I'm doing this renaming thing is because of all the things Sony Vegas can do, it does not have a way to skew videos easily. Each one of these actually has a video effect on it. It's been so long since I've done this, I don't even know. It might be deform. Yeah, it's deform. And I squeezed this right, this left, this right, this left to a degree. But the effect is dependent on the position in the project. So if I wanted to squeeze a certain distance, I had to put it in a certain place, and then I had to use the track motion to get it where it needed to be. It's a lot of work. It took me probably 2 hours to get these where I wanted it. And as you can see, just by renaming files in a matter of 30 seconds, they all move where they need to be. Because as you can see, Bab's Big Break in the video here has the thick part on the left and it's thin on the right. But in the project now, it's thin on the left and thick on the right. And that just took no time at all to do. And I make very careful that I keep this template intact. I got backups of all my templates, so if I ever screw something up, I can just grab the backup and override it and do it again. But knock on wood, so far I haven't had that as an issue. So that's how I fill in the last 4 places. And what's cool is it's still building peaks for the audio. I've actually had 2 different, I don't know how long you guys have been watching the channel, but I've actually had 2 different songs for these Let's Races, and 2 different screens, really. But the song I really like, and it's from a group called Approaching Nirvana. I put a link to it in all the descriptions, and you guys should check these guys out. They're really cool, really talented, and I really like their music. And they'll let you use it for free, assuming you've met some certain things, and one of the criteria is to link to them, which I'll happily do, because I think it's really cool. Oh my gosh, this is going to take forever. Well, anyways, you're probably not going to see... It's going to take too long. I'm just not going to worry about it. Basically, what I'm going to do after it's finished building peaks is I'm just going to render it out, right? And then once the video is rendered out entirely, I'm going to go throw it in my videos, end screens. I've got a copy of every end screen that we've done. So, let's see if I can't find an older one. What were you doing on Mario 3? Yeah, that's one of the older songs. Or that is the old song. That's what it used to look like. And I still kind of like it, even though it still kind of looks crappy. But that's what it used to look like. And that's the old song we used to use. And now we're using what you see now. But yeah, I'll throw it in here after it's done building peaks and rendering, and then I'll get back to you back in the main project. And we still actually have a little bit of Photoshop to do, so I'll catch you back then. Okay, guys, I'm back. I got the in-slate video rendered. Now, I would include that with like this template, like all the tracks and whatever, but as you can see, this project has gotten a little thick, and like I mentioned earlier, the bigger a project is, the longer it takes to render, and the more likely it is that Vegas may crash. So save frequently, and I trust render that out anyway. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take, actually I named that horribly wrong. This one is probably Star Fox 64. Well, let me see what that one is. Yeah, that's the Star Fox 64 one. I used to render these out in MP4. I had to actually, just for a small time, I had to render it out in MP4, which gets darkened in YouTube after an upload. No one knows how to fix that. So, but because WMV's had a problem, which if you watch one of the videos, I think it was either part 1 or part 2 of Sonic 2 or Sonic 1. It was one of the Sonic videos. You could see that any transition would cause the video to go to crap, and that was on YouTube. That wasn't me. But anyway, all right. So we're gonna take our little end screen here, right? We're gonna throw it into the project, and I timed it so that with a 6-second delay right there, it should give enough time for the fade, and what we're looking for is the bass drop to end it with. So we're just gonna have to listen to it real quick. So we'll just grab it right here and listen.
Bye.
All right, so right there, that's good. That's right before the drop. So we're gonna take it, move it in here. We're also gonna give this a 2-second fade, just like the fade in. So we're gonna take that to 2, back it out, say frequently, and we'll just give it a watch. We'll see how it looks.
Bye.
Hey! And there we go. Now, the only thing we're missing now is one small thing, but it's very important. We're gonna go into here, and now we've got to freaking throw in the soundtrack, the background music for everything. So, yeah, that's it. That's a good one. I think that'll make for a good intro. The thing here is there are actually some really important things that you need to do with audio. And first of all, realize that it's background music. First and foremost, it is background music. It needs to be very quiet, just enough to be heard. But if it overpowers your audio, it's no longer background music, it's foreground music. And that's a bad thing. So you want to make sure that your audio balances are enough to where you can hear it, but just enough where you can hear it, and no more than that. The thing is, I usually leave the volume normal when it first starts off, but whenever I start talking, which in the project is right here, so let's go down here, and so you can see in the project where I start talking, I'll show you a little something. If in Vegas, if you're in a audio track and you hit V for volume, you get a timeline for the audio. What you can do here is you can start dropping anchors, right? And these anchors allow you to click and drag and control the audio. So I want it to fade out right about here, right? Now it looks like it's almost dead silent, but this is just kind of a controller. The actual volume control slider is right here. So what this will look like, I'll actually pull this down a little bit. Let's see where we can see that. Pull this down here so we can see this, and
Hey guys, this is Lantis,
now,
and we're back.
actually, I still think the audio is still a little too loud.
And we're gonna race Star Fox.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I don't like that one. Let's just do the title screen. Screw this. So I'm just going to delete that. We'll do title screen. That intro, it's just kind of dark sounding, you know.
Hey guys, this is Lantis.
All right, so we'll do the same thing we did there. Pull the audio down.
Hey guys, this is Lantis, and we're back. This is RPG Maker Magazine, and we're gonna race Star Fox.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's probably really good. That's the way that is. We'll take the rest of the title screen music off entirely, and I think this is the yeah, the control selection. That's a good kind of song to lead into while we're introducing the race. So we'll leave that song in there. When do we actually start racing? We're actually talking a bit here. So I'm gonna take this and we'll do the course map selection, and that should carry us off until the race starts. And it does not. Holy crap, we talked far too long. Okay, in this instance, what we're going to do is we're going to make a loop. And loops take a little bit of time to do, but once you get used to it, it's not hard, and it makes it so nobody actually notices your audio, right? If you loop it right, no one will notice it, and it will blend the way it's supposed to. Like, you're not ever supposed to, like, pay attention to the background music. So
I'm still a bit sore from that.
in fact, for the time being, I'm going to turn this down a little bit, and I'm going to take the audio here and just overpower it entirely so we can't hear anybody and we're just listening to the music for the most part.
I'm still a bit sore from that.
All right. All right, so that's where the song starts over right there. I think it's right here. Yeah, it is. All right, so what we're going to do is zoom all the way in and clip the audio here, right? I'm going to delete the rest, and you're going to take this, Control Copy, and Control Paste. Now, we should have a perfect loop. We'll check it real quick. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Now, all I have to do is just paste until the game actually starts, which here it goes. And we'll find someone. All right, so someone starts right here. Now, the thing is about Star Fox, there's actually a little intro kind of to the level, and I think I actually have downloaded that in the OST folder. Is that the good luck? Oh no, it's the emergency call. So I'm actually going to put that in there for us actually starting the race, because that'd be kind of funny, right? I don't know, that's just kind of cute, right? So I'll put that in there, and then immediately follow that with the Corneria theme, right? Now that's when the Corneria theme starts. Now, from here on out, for the rest of the background music, it's just me dropping in tracks to the level that most of us are on at the time, and then making loops if I need to. And I'm not going to put you through all that. So actually, we're kind of done. All I need to do is fill out time music to get to the end slate screen. And once I've done that, I'm done. And I can render out the video, and it's a finished video. But only after I get the audio in and I get the audio level right, I need to go back and listen to the entire video and check everybody's audio and grab the slider and pull it up or down depending on if they're too loud or too quiet. That actually takes more time than pretty much everything we've already done in this video. So I guess I'm going to call it here, but this video isn't done yet. There are still some more steps before the video is actually finished, but I can't do any of that till after that video is already online. So after I finish the audio balancing, rendering, and uploading to YouTube, I'll come back to you and we'll finish this up. So it's gonna be a little bit for me, but for you it'll just be a hop, skip, and jump away. So I'll catch you back then. Okay, guys, I actually forgot about something that I needed to do before I started uploading, and it requires us being back in Photoshop. So we're going to go back into our template folder. This is going to be a real short little part here. We're going to go to templates, PSDs, and thumbnail. Right? So here's the thumbnail. What we need to do is get to the desktop and actually play the Star Fox file. Right? So what we want to do is, whoops. Pause it. Skip somewhere halfway in. Went out, needs to catch up. Okay. So let's go back to maybe a place where we're in Corneria. That's fine. And what we need to do is shrink it down to right about there. We just need to make sure it's small enough. That's fine. We're going to hit print screen to copy the desktop to the clipboard. And we no longer need Winamp. File new. Okay. Paste. We're going to do zoom in here. And we're going to take our selector. We're going to grab the tippy corner here. And grab the screen. Cut that. Close this. Don't save. Paste it in here. Okay, so we're going to take this. Whoops. Oh, whatever, don't need it. Move it over here. And free transform. Now, again, hold shift to make sure that the image keeps its default resolution. If you don't hold shift, you do this and you lose your resolution, which is bad. So hold shift and try to match the top left corner right here. And now what we're going to do is hold control instead, which switches the free transform to skew mode. So you can see how that looks all wobbly woobly and whatnot. What we're going to do is drag it to that corner with the image in the background. And that, just kind of work it in until it looks good. That's fine. And we're going to apply. Now we're going to go and add a drop shadow. Okay, we're going to delete the previous layer. And then we're going to go and edit the text. Since this was a two-part race, we're going to need Let's Race Star Fox Part 1. We're going to file, save as, PNG, move it up to the thumbnail folder, and call it SF1. Sure, why not? Save. Okay. And then we need to do that again. Just all we need to do is change the 2. File, save as, PNG, lossless format. You always want PNG. Thumbnails, and we're going to call it SF2. And any other race, you would just add that part based on however many parts there are in the game. Now we have our thumbnail. We can actually go ahead and upload the file to YouTube. So going ahead and get that started. Just like an earlier conversation about templates, doing your upload defaults, very important. As you can see, it saves you a lot of work. And I'm going to go ahead and browse to the thumbnail that I just created in my vids, temps, thumbs, Star Fox 1. That's going to upload that thumbnail. And we're still not done yet. Well, I'm going to fill out all this on, like I actually need to type in a description up here and adjust who was there in the race and whatnot. But let's go to the mag. And we're going to have to create the mag page. So let's go to Let's Race Kirby Dream Course Part 3. Click the clone button. And this will create this. Now, I think I already created Let's Race. Nope, I did not. Oh, no, there it is. Yeah. I already created one for Star Fox. Again, I don't want to create a bunch of crap that you're not going to have to deal with on. Like, I'm not going to do stuff like stupid repetitive stuff. You know, stuff that is kind of important to get in this here. So I usually go, like on YouTube, I spam tags. But the way the mag is, it's a lot more consolidated, a lot smaller. So I don't go super crazy with redundant tags. So Let's Race, obviously, and Star Fox. And, yeah, Actually, that's all we kind of need. Star Fox Let's Race. And I'll get all that filled in a minute. And we're going to just grab the link here, copy, and paste, and that is going to be in part 1. I'll just throw in some information there and save. So, now that is going to be in my Let's Play. So whenever the video is done, I'm going to publish it. Whenever it needs to go live, I'm going to hit the publish button here. Then I'm going to come over here and publish the mag page as well. So, but now I'm going to go in and go ahead and fill out all the information here and the information here. Going to do that off camera. And once I get that done and the video is uploaded, we'll come back for one last step before we're done. And I'll see you then. Okay, guys. This is the final step in the last section of this making of for Let's Race videos. We finally got the video uploaded. It's all there. We got our thumbnail. Blah, blah, blah. Don't add it to a playlist yet. When you add a video to a playlist, the playlist is visible on your channel before the video's up. And that kind of gives things away. But anyways, so let's go ahead and go to the video. And what I'm doing here is actually going to be annotations. So I kind of wanted you guys to see how I work annotations, because I don't mention it in every video. Actually, I forgot to name the video. Whoops. Let's Race Star Fox Part 1.
Hey guys,
So let's save that.
and we're back.
Alright, now let's go to annotations. Whoopsie! Alright, so what we're going to do is find... I'm going to do annotations. What I was saying earlier, actually, was that I don't mention in every single video that there are annotations. So I thought it would be interesting. So, you know, if I actually went over the annotations I'm doing, that it would be a good way to be like, hey, they're there. But anyways, we're just going to go ahead and find where the title cards go away. Or the names. We need to back up a little bit. A little bit more. Come on. Don't. YouTube, don't choke on me. I need you to work here.
Outside of other interested in seeing you're enjoying the race.
That's
and,
me.
We'll get you back next week.
Alright, 28, 29, 30. Alright, so 31, 30, and then a 0 for the milliseconds. So that's how long the titles go before there's any fade. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to back up to the beginning. Come on. Come on, YouTube. Come on, YouTube. See what I put up with?
Hey guys, this is Lantis, and we're back.
Alright, so that's right when the annotations came up. So what we're going to do is we're going to go add, and we're going to do a spotlight. The reason we do spotlights specifically is because they're the ones that can be the most invisible, right? So we're going to choose transparent, so you can't see it at all without the mouse there. See? And we're going to also make note of the time. See, 0, 12, 3. And we're going to go ahead and type in the 31, 30, 0. That's how long the titles are in the video. This one's going to be a link to a channel. This one's going to be to Lantis 02. And we're going to open it in a new tab. The reason why you want to open in a new tab, if you don't select that, when you click that annotation, it actually directs away from the video to that video. If you say open in a new window, it just pauses the video that you're currently on, opens up a new tab with the new video. It's much more convenient than sending that, you know, rerouting from the video, because if someone wanted to come back to the video and finish it, they can't be, well, I mean they can, but they'll lose their place. So it's convenience. So and that's that. See, simple as that. Now we got a annotation to my channel, and now we're just gonna go through here and do the same for everybody else. 3130 link to channel. That's gonna be Talvarius. Good old X. And you just kind of work them in there. I try to give a little bit of border between their name and the little avatar within there. And we'll take... And there's a Google invite, which I will accept in a second, whoever that is. Gonna add another spotlight real quick. Again, transparent. 3130 link, and this is to Kjack's video. So channel. His name was hard to memorize. Kjack Lombre Falcon. That's his channel name. I really like his channel. He plays a lot of games I really like. And actually, he plays some games I don't like as well. But he's actually the reason why he's playing a game right now that I don't prefer is to kind of show me that it's actually still a good game. It's March of the Black Queen, Ogre Battle. I tried to play it before. I couldn't get into it, but watching him playing it is more entertaining than playing it myself. That's all I'm saying. Dray, on the other hand, he, out of all of us, probably has the most relevant Let's Plays. Dray, actually, like, I'm pretty sure most of you guys, or at least some of you guys, have subscribed to everybody else, and if you have, thank you. I used to do this channel by myself, or sometimes with SK, and it just never took off. It wasn't until these guys came on board with me and started racing before this actually took off to as well as it has. So if I could give back to them at all by getting them some subs on their personal channel, it makes me feel good. So for those of you that have done that, I appreciate it. It means a lot. Now, here's something on a sadder note. I found out something interesting. Our videos, I check the analytics a lot, just to see how things do, how things go. Fox, let me get this open. Now, he's gotten back now. I need to just check yeah, that goes to the right place. Okay. Our views, I found out that literally half our views, only half of them come from PC. The other half come from tablet and mobile, which I actually find legitimately surprising. That's actually kind of interesting. The problem with that is you can't interact with annotations on those devices. So when I go into the analytics and I see that annotations aren't getting any attention whatsoever, I've got to remember, well, that's not my fault. It's just that half of the views are from platforms that can't. Which, I mean, that's fine. All right, now that we got the titles in, yeah. I got to get the annotations for the previous races.
And we'll catch you back next week. Peace.
Bye.
Wait for it. There's a drop. Okay. Now we need to make note of the time here. So it's 31:39. So 31:39:0, and the fade out is always 2 seconds before the video ends, so it's 32:09. So we're gonna go 32, and 09. And I always keep this notepad just so I can glance over real quick and do this. But yeah, as I was mentioning before, it's kind of disheartening. I put a lot of time into, well, not a lot of time. You're sitting here watching me do this. You know how long it takes. So, you know, just see that these annotations never really get used. It kind of sucks knowing that and going in here and doing this work, knowing that it's going to be mostly ignored. You know, half of the people can't use them, and the other half that do, most of them don't utilize the annotations. But I do it anyways because. Now, I found out there's a glitch in YouTube, and I've noticed this. Whenever you create an annotation, it always creates a start point where you create the annotation, except towards the end of the video. See your 3139, right? The annotation has 3034 instead. So that's why I have to make note of the time here, so I can change this to 31390, and then this goes to 09. Oh, 09. There we go. So, how do I do the annotations for this? Simple. Kirby's Dream Course. And always bring up the font size, make it white. And, actually, is that name going to be too long? Nah. That's going to be fine. I also need to go to my channel. There's the mag chat. And we need to go to the video manager. And we need to go to playlists. Okay. Now, I gotta lean up here. Hopefully it's not gonna make the volume too much louder, because I gotta kind of really pay attention to how I eyeball this in. I want to try to get this moved in like this. Try to get the four corners. It overlaps a lot, but that's actually by choice. I like the kind of warped, skewed design. And actually, I have the mouse I have for my computer. I can't remember what it's called. It's called a CM Storm. It actually has a DPS selector. So if you see my mouse right now, see the circles I'm making? I'm going to hit the DPS selector. See how it got smaller and smaller and smaller. I'm making the same motions, but I can slow down my DPSO. So I can make really small adjustments and things like this. Like when I'm video editing or doing anything in Photoshop and stuff like that. But anyways, it makes it easier to do things like that. All right, playlist. Go to playlist. We're going to copy link address, and we're going to paste it here. And that is going to make this a working annotation for this. Now, I usually don't leave this open the new link in a new window here, because the rest of the video is just the screen. They're not going to miss anything, so I don't leave it. I'll leave that the way it is. So now we're just going to go ahead and type out the rest of these. Babs, big break. I'm going to make that 16, white, transparent, and that's going to be 31390, 090, link to a playlist. Yeah, as you can see, it doesn't take long to do if I just sit down and I do it. Whenever I start explaining things, it takes a little bit longer, but kind of work that in. That was a break. Save, add, spotlight. Next one is DuckTales Remastered. It's weird. Why is the T in Tails like capitalized? How many words in the English language or in works of media are there where there's a capitalized letter in the middle of a word? Like DuckTales is apparently supposed to be just one word. Video, playlist, copy link address, paste. See, don't take long. I'll pull that out one more pixel. Can I make DuckTales bigger? Yeah. There we go. That just fits. Wow. Alright, Spotlight and Little Samson is last. 16, white, transparent, 31390, and 090, link to a playlist. And we're going to go copy Little Samson. Don't need this tab anymore. And paste. Alright, let's drag that out a little bit, and we'll just put that up there for the time being while we're moving this into place. And we'll move that out. And move this in place. And guys, we're done. That is it. With that, we have finished editing what it makes up a single episode of Let's Race with RPGMM. It takes a while, but I honestly look at this as a hobby, and it really makes me happy to do it. Like, this kind of work, I have to do it every week. But I don't know, it's really rewarding. We might not have a huge channel, we might not have a huge following, we might not have hundreds of thousands of subs, but I'm still really glad to do this. And if you guys want to see more kind of behind the scenes videos, let me know in the comments below. If there's any other ideas you have for this channel you would like to see. Obviously, racing more often than once a week probably won't happen, because as you just saw over this past hour, it's a bit taxing. But I don't know. Also, if you have any critiques over my editing, and you think there's anything I can do to make it better, let me know there too. And anyways, guys, if you actually watched all the way up to here, I appreciate it. And I hope this was maybe educational, if you got anything out of it. And if not, we'll catch you next week. We're going to be racing Mario The Lost Levels, which should be interesting. So I'll catch you then, guys. Later.